everything comic book storytelling should be in this container. Hello to all of my friends out there in YouTube land. It is your good buddy Philtastic Phil here. I'd like to welcome you back to my channel. Today is a really special unboxing, and I'm going to explain why. First off, as of the day I'm filming this, we are exactly 1 week from Christmas, and for the first time in as long as I could remember, I'm done with my shopping. I actually finished, I think, last weekend, which is unheard of unless I'm forgetting about somebody. But if I forgot about somebody at this point, that I really need to get them something. I am working on AOKs that are not going to go out in time for Christmas. I had sent out AOKs to some of my YouTube friends and comic book friends and just friends in life. I made a video about that last year. You can check that out. I'll put a link in the description. I'm not going to put it in the card because I'm going to put something else in the card. Anyway, done early with shopping, and this is a present I bought for myself. It is an art unboxing. Art from my favorite modern day comic book artist, and if you've been watching me for a while, you know that it's Mr. Mike Del Mundo. And it's even more special because in here I have a print of what is the quintessential best, I don't know if you want to say single panel because it's a splash page, but screw it, I'm just going to say single panel. If I'm wrong, I'm sure you'll tell me. That's how the internet works. This is the best representation, why don't we say, there we go, that sounds better, of modern day comics. This is everything comic book storytelling should be in this container, this canister. And I'm going to show it off to you. So right off the bat, I'm just going to tear this off. And I'm going to say this. I don't order prints because Prince, Prints, not Prince, like the singer who's no longer with us for a while at least now. I don't even know how long it's been. But yeah, just because as you've seen, I have artwork up on my walls here, and I'm pretty much out of wall space in that respect. But Mike Del Mundo was asking on his website, or his assistant, let's be real, hey, what kind of artwork would you like to see offered? Now, to be clear, if I had a bigger house, I would just construct an entire wall for Mike Del Mundo artwork. Just so great, funny, and just well done. But this one, this is my favorite. And I happen to reply to this, and his assistant, I don't know, could be an agent or something, an art agent, turned around and was like, hey, guess what? We're going to do it. And I even told him how big of a Mike Del Mundo fan I am. I made a video, in case you didn't know, about his artwork. And if you haven't seen that, you should. It's my favorite video that I've done to date still. There we go. And I sent the link to that. The guy supposedly watched it and was like, oh, this is so great. So I'll put a card to that over here. Watch it if you haven't. If you have, just watch it again. Why not? You're not doing anything else. Come on. You're watching me in my basement open up packages. This is basically adult show and tell. That's what YouTube is. So there are actually 3 things in here. 2 of them are smaller. So I'm being generous by saying 3. As I said, if I could, I would buy all his artwork and just plaster my walls with that. My wife disagrees. So instead of buying multiple prints, I bought some stickers of his prints. And this will give you an idea of, I guess, his humor and the quality of his work, just in case you didn't know. I mean, look, Mike Del Mundo, I think, is a pretty big name by this point. I mean, look, he's worked on Spider-Man, he's worked on Wolverine. Is Wolverine, when was it? Thor. Again, a little uneven, excuse me. Weird World, Elektra, where this print comes from. But on his own, he's done just other great stuff. Ninja Turtles. He's doing 3 Worlds, 3 Moons. He's part of that huge project. Right now, he's got another book out, and I can't think of the name of it, so I'm not even going to mention it. He has a Spawn series coming out. I know that Collecting with Duras really is into Spawn, and I actually messaged my LCS, even though I've mentioned it before. I mentioned my LCS just minutes ago said, hey, the FOC is this Wednesday. Please make sure I get it. So let me just show you these stickers and stop talking. So this is the first one, and I thought this was fun. This is Baby Groot, and if you're a child of a certain age, I'm on the late end of Gen X, but I did have cassette tapes when I was younger. Then you know the struggle here. Here's Baby Groot trying to reel that cassette back in, and that's just a very cool image, and I love the way he does it with the light and the shading and everything. Yeah, very cool. And here's the other one. This is X-Men related, and I laughed at this one too because this reminded me, again, if you're of my generation and probably older, then you'll recognize this immediately. He did a nice little thing here with Cyclops. I almost bought this print last year when he offered it, but I was glad to see it back as a sticker. How cool is that? Just old school X-Factor Cyclops. You can tell it's X-Factor Cyclops because of the glove with the Mattel Viewmaster. Very, very cool. I don't stick stickers up anywhere. I'm just trying to figure out how to display them. I think I'm going to put it in a notebook kind of with all the channel stickers I get and some of the notes from the channel, from the community that I get. I haven't figured out how to do that. Tell me what you do, because if it's a good idea, I might copy it. So anyway, let's pull this out. As I was saying before, I don't get many cylinders. I don't know that I have any artwork I could send out in a cylinder, but maybe I'll just put it aside for now, see what happens with it, and if not, I'll toss that to recycling. I'm sure my wife's looking at this like, no, just throw it away. Throw it the frig away, dude. What are you doing to me? Okay. Ooh, you know what? Here's the problem I just realized. First of all, very nicely rolled up. This is a higher quality paper than I thought it would be because I don't read descriptions, because why would I? I'm going to put this in a frame I purchased from Michaels, and then I'm going to show it to you because I feel like if I just, it either might damage it and then you might not get the full effect, and I'm looking at it, not at the camera because it's so beautiful. But clearly I didn't think this out. And that is the story of my life. That's why I am where I am in my life, is because I don't think things out. So let me frame this. I actually got these frames sealed tight back into Christmas on Black Friday from Michaels, not because I'm a Michaels shopper, because they were cheap, or so I thought. I always have the impression that Michaels knows that they're ripping you off somehow, and I just haven't sat down and figured it out. But let me put that in and we'll be right back. But you're not going to notice that time has passed because that's how video works. Yes, I've had coffee. All right, be right back. And I'm back. For me, it's been a few minutes, a little bit longer than I thought, which made me question my own intelligence for a moment. But that doesn't matter, because for you it was only a couple quick seconds. You know, that would have been the that would have been the perfect, there we go, place for me to put in my little hashtag challenge. If you remember, I had started a while back and then I stopped, and I didn't stop on purpose. I stopped because I completely forgot about it. So why don't we do that now anyway? I was going to say we'll do that next year, but we're here already. We're all friends. So let's just do it. We'll do hashtag artwork. Simple enough. I was going to throw something quintessential like at you, but truth be told, I'm not a great speller, and I can't think of how to spell it, and I don't feel like putting it in after the fact. So anyway, this did give me a chance to kind of clear some stuff out of the office, because I had bought 2 frames from Michaels, and I generally don't like Michaels. All the other frames I've had here, I had custom done by them, but to be honest with you, that was like over 10 years ago at this point. I have a child, as you've seen and heard on my live streams, and yeah, they're expensive, like especially when you need to like find formula and stuff. Yeah. So anyway, I decided instead, let me just get frames online. And Michaels is kind of weird too. I only like to go online. I don't like to go into the store. Nothing against Michaels. Like last time I was there, I have a military style jacket. This all has to do with comics, of course, which I've had for a while, and it's beat up and it's ragged. And the cashier I was just buying wood rounds, I think, so it was like this time last year. And the cashier was like, "Oh, do you have a military discount?" I'm like, "No." "Why?" "Oh, your jacket." And I was like, "No." I was like, "Oh, I thought you just came back from service." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm coming back from war, and the first thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to go home, I'm not going to, take a shower, see my wife, I'm going to go to Michael's in Rockaway, New Jersey. Nah, I don't know. So I said, no, I'm not going to take a discount, especially that, but, I'm not deserving of that. Anyway, enough gabbing. So I took the opportunity to frame a piece that the very great and talented Madam Blaster did for me a while back. I'm going to just probably have this leaning on my, I forgot what these things are called, cabinets or whatever, behind me, once I have those cleared off, because I can't hang anything else up. But the frame actually looks really good. This was a self-portrait of me that she did, or portrait rather she did. It's not a self-portrait, because then I would have done it or she would have done it of herself, and I look, that would have been a little strange. Like, here's a picture of me. Anyway, yes, and this was, my hair's grown out more since then because I still do need a haircut. I promise, Mom, it's coming sooner rather than later. So yeah, and it awesome likeness, and it looks awesome in this frame. So I will have this up or around here soon. But that's cool. See, we took a little detour. You're probably saying, Phil, I like your videos, but you always take like a long time to get to your point. And to my answer to that is, number one, enjoy the ride. Number two, I know that you're skipping around because I see the friggin' whatever that YouTube provides me with, which I really don't even know how to look at accurately. Algorithms, I don't even know. So this one actually took me a little bit longer than I wanted to put it in the frame because of the curl and because little pieces of my hair was getting in it. I always kind of freak out of that because, I've seen there's like 6 Jurassic Park movies at this point that tell us why that's a bad idea. Actually, more accurately, if you saw that movie Gattaca in the early 2000s, Ethan Hawke, Uma Thurman, it was an okay movie. I think that's where they met and made their daughter, who's in the Stranger Things. Anyhow, again, I am blown away by this, and it looks so friggin' good in the frame. I present to you, this is, again, the quintessential comic book art from modern day. This is from Elektra issue number 9, which I've been looking for duplicates of to actually give out to as AOKs. Actually, Madam, this is the piece I was telling you about, and I've been looking for this comic and I can't find it, not even on Midtown or something like that. Just to kind of set the table a little bit, this was the time, if you've been reading Daredevil, he went through a very dark time, going from Bendis's run to Brubaker to, I forgot who wrote it after that. I didn't like that run, where he became head of the Hand and built Shadowland in the middle of Hell's Kitchen, and then had to go away to San Francisco but came back to New York. Yeah, this was right after Shadowland. This is Matt Murdock, Daredevil, meeting Elektra and saying, hey, look, I'm moving back to San Francisco. And what's very unique about this, let's face it, comics don't use thought bubbles nearly as much as they used to. They try to rely on subtle little actions to do that. Mike Del Mundo has constructed this in a way where, even though there's no thought bubbles, you can tell by he's kind of made thought bubbles basically on the reflections of these buildings here. And it's quintessential because not only are you seeing the story and reading the story, but you're feeling it. You feel it. And it's just so much better. Packs so much of a punch. Let me just shut up and show this to you. Again, this is from Elektra number 9. You could read this digitally. You could read it in physical form. Physical is actually better in this case. But this is just amazing. My only regret, well, I have the microphone, so you don't need me to go in front of it, is that you can't get close enough to see this, but it is a high quality print. Let me see if I could just get a little bit closer. You could even see it. It almost has like the water bleed on this and everything here. And just looking at it now too, I forgot about this. The actual lights on the buildings, you could see Elektra's size, and it's something here says stay. So even when he's not showing you her emotional state, you still see her thought just in these little cues here. All right, I'm gonna have to do some bargaining with my wife because This piece needs to be hanging up somewhere. Honestly, it needs to be hanging up in a museum, but I don't own a museum, so somewhere here is going to have to do. So I'm going to have to do some negotiating. You can tell I'm going to take some stuff down to get this up, but yeah. Check that out so you get a better look at it. Elektra number 9, giant splash page, quintessential modern day artwork in comic book history, in my opinion, and hands down the best thing I've seen Elektra written into. I mean, let's face it. After Frank Miller, and I know Frank Miller agrees with me on this one, she really hasn't gone anywhere as a character. He doesn't even regard her as the same character. But this is just... what is there left to say after that, other than peace, love, and comics? Thanks for checking this out. Take care. And if I don't see you before then, have a very Merry Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or something else. I just don't know. Some other holiday. Later, people.